It's Fire Prevention Month, and they're letting me cook in the Delaware Life kitchen.
Oh, no, you don't.
It's showtime. You know what? It can happen in an instant. You're sleeping. You're in another room. Maybe you're not even home. A fire can turn your life upside down.
And as you know, Jimmy, it happens all the time. And while fire prevention is crucial all year round, there's a real emphasis on it this month, Fire Prevention Month. And with us this afternoon is Chief Michael Lowe, the senior instructor at the Delaware State Fire School. He's also the past chief with the Laurel Fire Department. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your support above all.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. You know, it seemed like when I was working in the news department, as soon as it got cold, that was when we would get called out to fires. It really, they increase when we have to turn on the heat.
Yeah, the fires increase over the winter months naturally because of the use of heating, and basically that could result from a lot of things. Just not caring for your heating unit, that's a big factor where folks just don't get around to doing the proper maintenance. And another huge factor is just the misplacement of combustibles, where, as we say, no one intends to have a fire. It's just that split second of not paying attention and being distracted that something very bad happens.
Yeah. So this time of year, and like you said, we should be paying attention to maintenance. I guess a lot of us have a tendency just to flip on the heater.
Yep.
Turn on the heat.
Just flip on the heater, and that funny smell you get from the dust burning, it'll go away. It'll go away in a day or two. It'll be okay.
Case, is it?
Well, it's not really the way things should be. And another thing that can't be overlooked is, with this time of year, we're approaching very fast, is that the kitchen's the most dangerous room in the home. And the busiest day for firefighters is July the 4th because of all the dumb things being done.
Right.
But the second and third is Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Eve.
When everybody's cooking.
When everybody's in the kitchen, correct.
How about that?
So things happen. Another level of protection are the alarms, the smoke detector, carbon dioxide.
Yes.
Or carbon monoxide.
Yes. You know, we fully support smoke alarms in your home, and do what we can to assist the public in making sure that happens. There was a program in Delaware for many, many years called Wake Up Delaware, where the fire departments themselves were supplied with smoke alarms. And if an individual felt their smoke alarm in their home needed to be replaced, or they didn't have one, they could simply walk into a fire department, sign a release, get a smoke alarm, go on about their way.
Let's say I want to do more. I want to get more smoke detectors. So I go into the store, I buy them. Right. I pick up 2, 3, 4, 5. Where do I put them?
Okay. Smoke alarms need to be mounted high because the smoke and the hot gases in a fire is going to rise in the room.
Okay.
We recommend having one on each level of the home and also one in each sleeping area to give you the best protection. And a real topic today is the 10-year lithium battery smoke alarms, where smoke alarms have a shelf life of 10 years.
Okay.
So with a lithium battery, you don't need to replace the battery because it's going to be good for the whole 10 years.
So I know we got to go to break real quick, but I just want to make sure I'm clear. The smoke detector itself has a shelf life.
Yes.
So you may need to replace it.
From the 10 years of manufacture, which we really promote because we don't want people to get confused and say 10 years from when I mounted it on the ceiling.
Right.
Because technically that's not correct.
So look, gotcha.
Okay, all right. Well, up next, Chief Lowe has information on how we can help the Delaware Volunteer Firefighters Association. We are talking fire safety this afternoon, and now we're shifting gears to talk about those brave men and women who stop at nothing to run into harm's way.
Chief Mike Lowe, the senior instructor at the Delaware State Fire School, is back with us. Thank you for hanging out, Chief. Appreciate
Thank you very much.
So you also represent the Delaware Volunteer Firefighters Association.
Yes, sir.
What does the association do?
The association oversees the business and the well-being of the emergency services in the state of Delaware.
So talk to us a little bit about how fire companies are staffed. They're mostly volunteers.
It's a real transition period, and it's kind of scary ground that we're on. When, with me being an older member, I can remember joining, and volunteerism was a big thing. In the community, the fire department was more or less the social hub of the town. Whatever happened in town kind of went through the fire department. If somebody got married, their reception was in the hall, and that's just the way it was. But as things have developed, we now are in a situation of where we're moving to combination departments, which means we have paid staff supplemented by the volunteers. The volunteers are still attempting, at least, to carry the lion's share of the load, supplemented by the paid staff, but it's moving very quickly towards where we're going to be a career staff supported by volunteers.
So you need more volunteers. Do you think COVID has impacted?
COVID has impacted it somewhat. People are working 2 jobs, they're tied up with school activities, church events. They got a lot of things pulling for that little bit of free time that they have.
Yeah. So what kind of jobs are available?
I like to say there's a job in the fire service for anybody. Firefighting, of course, is the very traditional thing, and especially the younger folks, they like to join and ride the big red, I say red fire trucks, ours are red and black. However, we need help with EMS desperately. We are struggling to staff EMS needs. And with the growing population on Delmarva, especially the older population, people moving here from out of state, reasons for that, the tax structure, the medical facilities we have, and also access to the beach. So here they come. Well, somebody has to take care of them.
Right.
And that falls back on the infrastructure of the fire departments, police, everything else. So having staffing is quite a challenge.
So if you have somebody that wants to volunteer to drive the ambulance or to help out around the firehouse, how much time are they looking at investing?
My answer to that when I saw that question was more or less, how much time do you have? And we'll probably take it.
You can fill it up.
I can remember an individual who joined our fire department. I was chief at the time and did a great job, very impressive. Completed basic skills, went to structural firefighting and kind of struggled. Came back to me, said, look, this isn't for me, I want out. I'm an older person, I'm a larger person, crawled around in a smoky, dark house, isn't for me. And I was like, whoa, stop, right there. There's a job for everybody. And this person eventually became our fire department chaplain, our fire department police officer. And Jimmy, I thank you for doing that.
You really didn't have to share all of that, Chief.
My favorite volunteer, right here. Yeah, I mean, you know Jimmy's whole story.
Sure. See, it gotten to the point that, even if he did let me go in with a charged line into a burning building, the kids were going to have to put the fire out and then pull me out too. So, but as you can tell, there's a huge family structure within the firehouse as well.
Sure.
When we say brotherhood, that's a serious term.
That is a very serious term, and when someone is in need, yes, people joke around, and I call it a family atmosphere, although it might be a dysfunctional family a lot of times. You have that. You have, when something happens within your family, you have that support structure behind you, and that's a big thing.
Yeah.
All right. So it's easy to get involved, right?
Easy to get involved.
Yeah. What do we do?
Contact your local fire department. Fire departments have different requirements. They'll have an application process. So fill out an application, contact someone you may know with the fire department, and they'll get you started. And another thing that can't be overlooked is free training. When you join a fire department, you have access to training through us at the Delaware State Fire School, and these are skills that you take with you. And many people have come through the process and eventually made a very good career of emergency services.
Chief Michael Lowe, Senior Instructor at the Delaware State Fire School. Thank you
for
sharing
everything.
this information.
Yes. Yeah.